3 days later, when my son finally opened his eyes, his first words shook me to my core. "Daddy, Grandma, and Mommy." What they did to me. His voice was so weak, as if every word caused him pain. Yet the weight of those words was so heavy that it stole my breath. I leaned closer to him, holding his small hand tightly in mine, afraid that I might lose him again. The constant beeping of machines. The quiet whispers of doctors' everything faded into the background. In that moment, my entire world revolved around those incomplete, haunting words. Few days the sudden emergency. Just because. At the time, I believed I had made the right decision. But now, it felt like that was only the beginning. I gathered the courage to look into his eyes. A heavy weight settled in my chest had I failed to protect my own child. Afraid that whatever he would say next would shatter my world completely. In that moment, I realized that some truths don't just hurt, they change you forever. Helpless, terrified, yet unable to turn away. My heart was pounding so loudly that it felt like the entire room could hear it. I gently ran my hand through his hair, kissed his forehead, and tried to comfort him, but the truth was, I was completely shattered inside. Waiting for his every word felt like a test I wasn't ready for, as if my entire life was hanging on those few fragile sentences. Memories kept flashing before my eyes, moments when I trusted my family blindly, never once imagining that the people I considered my strength could become my child's greatest weakness. I began to question every decision I had ever made. Every memory now stood in front of me like an accusation. The silence in the room had become unbearable. Even the steady beeping of the machines felt like a hammer striking against my chest. And every passing second felt like an eternity. I wanted him to say everything in one breath, just to end this torment, yet seeing how weak he was held me back. There was a fear in his eyes that words could not capture, as if he had endured something no child should ever have to face. His uneven breathing, the slight trembling of his hands, and the broken tone of his voice made it painfully clear that the truth was far more serious than I had imagined. Inside me, a storm was raging, a father's helplessness clashing with a man's fear of facing a truth that could destroy his entire world. I kept asking myself, if the very people I trusted the most were responsible for this, what would I do? Would I be able to confront them? Would I have the strength to stand against my own family for the sake of justice? The thought alone made my heart tremble. But then I looked at my son. He was my everything. And the silent plea in his eyes gave me a strength I didn't know I had. In that moment, I realized there was no turning back. No matter how bitter or painful the truth might be, I had to face it. Because this was no longer just a secret, it was about my son's life, his future, and the justice he deserved. I tightened my grip around his hand, as if trying to reassure him that he was no longer alone, and silently made a promise to myself, no matter what it takes, I will bring the truth to light even if it means tearing apart my own world.